Hello, this is Mr. Ryder, and today we're talking about African ethnic groups. So, at least in my class yesterday, we talked about this a little bit. But in Africa, it's a gigantic continent, and you can see that there are many, many different ethnic groups. Okay, so first of all, well, what is an ethnic group? Do you remember? So, somebody please answer the question. What is an ethnic group? Okay, so what do people in an ethnic group have in common with one another? So we should recall an ethnic group is not the same thing as a religion. It's not the same thing as a religious group or anything like that, okay? So an ethnic group is a group of people who share common cultural characteristics. So your culture is your history, ancestry, in other words, like how you look or different traits about a certain group of people. Their language is a really, really big one. Sometimes the religion is connected, but not always. Their traditions, in other words, maybe how they treat their family, how they build their family, or who is the leader of the group, or who does certain jobs around the house, maybe. Another thing is beliefs, what they believe about the world, or there could be stories, things like that, folk tales, things. Their holidays, and their food is another really big one. So different ethnic groups have different foods. So some ethnic groups are, as you can see in the map here, pretty small. So all these different color blobs all over the map are representing a different culture, a different ethnic group, a different language all across Africa. So there's no way that we wouldn't have enough time to learn about all of them, unfortunately. But we are going to pick some of the main ones. Some of these kind of fall into a larger group that we're going to learn about. So we're going to go through these, and then we got another video we're going to watch. So first of all is the Arabs. We already know a little bit about the Arabs. But the most of Africa's Arab population is in the northern part of Africa. The Arab culture was spread all over parts of Africa, a lot of Africa, because of merchants. They would, what's a merchant? So a merchant is basically somebody who buys and sells things. It's kind of an older word. We don't really use it anymore. But that used to be somebody's job, where they would buy things from some faraway country. They would set up a shop and they would sell those things there. They would trade it with other people. And they would also, merchants would also have to do with the shipping and how the boats worked. So you can see all of these countries here are the ones that are Arabic. They're mostly Arabic people that live there. And so the different Arabic countries we just learned about when we talked about Southwest Asia and North Africa, they would use boats and things, and they'd go all across the coast of Africa. And as a result, they spread the people, but they also spread their culture too. This is kind of the area that it looks like. It's very like desert-like. A lot of them are Islamic. And that's what Arabs look like in general. So we already know about Islam. There's another place that is it's the oldest mud brick building in the entire world. And it's in the country called Mali. And we go back here. Well, here we go. Mali, I think, is right here, this country. So Arab refers to an ethnic group made up of people who speak the Arabic language. And most Arabs, even if they're Muslim or Christian, doesn't matter, they would still speak Arabic as their native language. Now, there are other languages too, you can see. Berber is another ethnic group that's from this area. It's kind of mixed together. That's what a school there looks like. And again, this is very, very broad. It's very general. Okay, so about Arabs, they are in Southwest Asia, which we learned about last time, and Northern Africa, which again we already studied. And they speak Arabic, and most of them are Islamic. So you might want to write those three things down. Those are the three main points about Arabs: that they're in Southwest Asia, that they're in Northern Africa, they speak Arabic, and most of them are Islamic. Okay, we've already studied that, so let's get into the next part. So Ashanti is another ethnic group. They were a large empire in West Africa, in countries of Ghana and Ivory Coast, and today there's about 7 million of them. So there would be the area that they lived. And notice they have something on their flag. What's that? So in 1706, a meeting of all the clan chiefs in the region was held. And it was said that a golden stool was produced from the heavens by a priest. In other words, this priest came and said, hey, I found this golden stool. It came from the heaven. Or it came from heaven, right? And it landed on the lap of Osei Tutu, the first king. So that became the symbol of their new Ashanti kingdom. So that was back in 1701. Golden stool. So there it is. That's the golden stool. And I think it's laying on its side there. But look, it's a replica because otherwise it'd be really, really old right now. So it's sacred. It's a way that the king can get his inspiration to lead the country. Okay, is by with this this divine stool. And it's an Ashanti legend, and they only let the kings and queens and the family, the royalty, the royal family, they only let the royal family see the stool, the real one. And they hide it somewhere so it won't get stolen. There you go. So it has bells attached to the stool. And the legend is, it's just a story, it's a legend, that the bell would ring when there's something bad is going to happen. Okay. Another thing about the Ashanti tribe is that they are a mixture in their religion. So what is their religion? Well, it's a unique religion. We haven't learned about it yet. A lot of the tribes in Africa will have their own religion that will not be an Abrahamic religion like we talked about before. So what were the 3 Abrahamic religions that we already studied? So Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Those are the 3 Abrahamic religions. Now, the Arab ethnic group, they have Islam mostly. But the other 2 that we're going to do today, they don't follow Islam. Okay, well, some of them might, but traditionally they don't. So what do? What's their typical religion? They have an animist powers or supernatural religion, where they believe that plants, animals, and trees have souls, so that everything basically is alive, and everything that's alive has some kind of a spirit in it, and that there's one God who takes on different names. Okay, but they are there. The gods and the spirits are to help humans, is what they believe. And so they have to pray and do different rituals and things like that to bring the gods on their side. They also speak, the language that they speak is Ashanti or Twi. And some more pictures of that ethnic group. So they primarily live in those countries we showed you earlier. They speak a language called Twi, also known as Ashanti. And their religion is a kind of an animist religion. Animism, you can write that down. And they have the legend of the golden stool, which is in their countries. Well, it's not really a country, but it's the royal family of this ethnic group. All right, next, Bantu. So they are a large group. See, it says 600 ethnic groups. So we could split them up in a lot of different ways. That's another thing. It's like, how do you define an ethnic group? But this one is saying that the Bantu is like a large group of a bunch of smaller groups, and they speak similar, but not the same languages. They're all over the central and southern parts of Africa. They're about 2/3 of Africa's population, so they're going to be the biggest group. And Bantu itself means the people. There you go. That's the region of the Bantu people. Okay, a little bit of Madagascar there too. So they have uncovered scratches on rock, massive stone pillars, and tools that go all the way back to 50,000 BCE, which is a long time ago. But we didn't have writing back then, so we don't know a whole lot about what happened back then. but they spread all over this area and mixed with the other people that were there too, and formed their own ethnic groups. So here's some pictures of them. So you can see how they're different in the traditional dress. We go back to the other one where they're doing the ceremony. See that this would be the Ashanti people. It's different than the Bantu ones, like that, see? They would also have different geography, different weather, stuff like that. And they've moved all over Africa. So there's some more. What is their religion? Well, some are Islamic, others are Christian. And that's because of missionaries that go to Africa or have gone to Africa. So in other words, we don't have one answer for this one. What is their religion? Well, a lot of them are Muslim or Christian. So they do follow an Abrahamic religion. But they have an old religion that a lot of them used to follow, which was believed in the powers of setting a curse on somebody and also magic. So there's looks like some traditional dance. So the culture in these especially African cultures, is very closely tied to their traditional religion. So in a lot of ways, whenever they adopt a new religion like Christianity or Islam, they will still sometimes anyway, or a lot of the times they'll keep the old religious culture and attach it to the new religion. And so it becomes kind of a mix, which is actually what happened in the Caribbean region, which we kind of sort of learned about that before as well. So here's some more pictures. They have over 650 different languages and dialects. It's a lot. 70 million people speak some kind of a Bantu language. So there's a high school classroom. Looks like they have to wear uniforms. And just to review, they're pretty much all over sub-Saharan Africa. 600 different ethnic groups, 650 different languages and dialects. Their religion is Islam or Christianity, and they also have some traditional African religions as well. Oh, there's another one. I forgot about this. Swahili. So they're all the way in Kenya, Tanzania, and Mozambique. This is East Africa. Some of them are on the island of Zanzibar, and there's only about 1 million of them. So not nearly as many. So it's a small area right here. But they've been really important historically. One who lives on the coast is where the name comes from. They have mixed with the Bantu people though, like we just learned about. So there they are. A lot of them are Islam because of the traders who came there, the merchants, like we talked about earlier. So Arabic culture is a vital part of Swahili culture because a lot of them are Islamic. They're Muslims. So the Islamic religion is closely tied to Arabic culture, and so a lot of that culture has mixed in with Swahili. Then they speak Swahili is a language. There's a Swahili Islamic school. So the next thing we're going to do is watch a video, and this is about a different tribe. Okay, it's going to show you a little bit about what their tribe is like. And well, what should you take from today? Well, you should learn that Africa has a lot of different tribes in it. There's so many different cultures, so many different groups in Africa that you can't simplify all of it. So we just did a little tiny bit of each one of these 4 ethnic groups, and now we're going to watch a video about I think 2 more groups. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.